VIP Pavilion up here overlooking Manly Oval. They're up against Northern Suburbs this weekend in Shield.
Hang on, mate, we found him.
Seriously.
Oh, he's going to wash his hands.
Yeah.
He hasn't washed anything else, but he's going to wash his hands.
What's he wearing?
We're on, Drew.
Go.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Aussie Rugby Show. I'm Louise Ransom. Great to have you joining us once again. Great to have Stephen Hoyles and Sean Maloney with us. Guys, Drew Mitchell's supposed to be here.
We waited
a long time.
We waited, and we wait no more.
I think he'll be here at some stage. He had a big weekend.
He did. We'll get to that later. Where are we, Sean?
We are at the home of the Manly Marlins, as you all know, a club very close to my heart. So many great Wallabies, none more so than George Smith. And we're currently inside the George Smith VIP Pavilion up here overlooking Manly Oval. They're up against Northern Suburbs this weekend in Shield.
Hang on, mate, we found him.
Seriously.
Oh, he's going to wash his hands.
Yeah.
He hasn't washed anything else, but he's going to wash his hands. We're on, Drew.
Go. Sorry, guys.
He's just used hand sanitizer for
You
his
just
hair.
washed your hair with hand sanitizer.
Yeah, I've got hair.
Mate.
How are we?
Big weekend?
Wow. It's an absolute
Weekend.
fiesta.
Week. Days.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. Am I?
Are you serious?
What do you mean?
Oh, my God.
Mate, was
would've
Kurtley
been-
Beale's wedding going to be anything different?
Run us through it then while you get mic'd up by Petchy.
Oh, look, just pants are split. I mean, all sorts. Good wedding. She said yes.
Yeah.
He said yes.
Yeah.
And,
No one
celebrant?
objected?
I was a celebrant.
You were?
Yeah, I was a
Second
celebrant.
time around?
Second time after Adam. Adam and his wife Anna. But yeah, Kurtley married. Beautiful wedding. Rain held off. Reception was good.
That's all you
After
remember.
party
isn't
was
it?
good. The after was good, and here we are on Thursday.
Yeah.
Did you watch any rugby?
Oh look, I caught a glimpse here and there. I caught a glimpse.
We'll
but-
carry you.
Yeah,
This will go
thanks.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one. Well, make sure if you want us to go to your rugby club for the Aussie Rugby Show, you can just hit us up on all the socials and we'll try and come to visit. It's great to sort of be here at Manly, isn't it, Sean? Because this is, as you said, one of your favourite clubs.
Not great to sort of be here. Like, it's epic to bring you guys here. You are in the company of the Mayor of Manly. Remember the time we did the NRC game down here?
remember, yep,
And
yep.
people came out with bounties of food and drinks, presented them to us, and from memory we had a couple on the way through. It was great fun.
So Manly Junior, you started here.
Yeah.
You skipped over the Rats for a year.
Yeah.
But you finished here?
Yeah, finished here. Yeah, last game just down here in front of us against the Rats, ironically.
Yeah.
We won. Beat John McKee's men.
Okay.
It's a long way from where I live and where I just was.
Yeah, I know. I can
Do you
see
actually
that.
know where you've been?
Yeah. Do you know where you are
There's an
still?
Uber receipt somewhere that says where I was.
Okay, guys, let's do what got you. We did this last week. We're going to do it again here on the Aussie Rugby Show. What got you guys over the weekend, Hoylesy?
I'll go with Tatafu Pelota now. He played fourth grade for his beloved Parramatta, and then he was seen running the line assistant, what is it? AR, assistant referee.
Yeah.
In the first grade game. No, the women's
the
game,
women's
which
game,
was
yeah.
the very
Jack
last,
Scott Cup.
the very last game of the day. So yeah, he's just finished playing Leicester. I'm a bit disappointed that he's playing fourth grade. I'd love to see him play a little bit higher.
Second grade last week and maybe off the bench for first grade. He's been dropped.
So what he's doing is he's sucking up to the club bosses, the coaches, the presidents. But you know that first grade front row of Parramatta, they weigh the props 165, 145, and the hooker is 130 kilos. So
Stop shaming.
Yeah.
Body shaming.
That
See,
is-
that's at
incredible.
least the second episode you've done that.
it's a compliment. It's a compliment, Drew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If I was talking about Sean's weight, that'd be body
Yeah.
shaming.
What about he didn't take a breath that whole time? He's like,
It's too late. I've got the puffer jacket on.
He did say
I'm a
to me
buck
pre-show.
60.
On the end again.
I go poor wardrobe
He goes,
choice.
I should have worn the
I should have worn your gear. I would look better.
puffer jacket or
What do
life
you
jacket.
got? What's yours?
You know what got me? Kurtley Beale got me. Oh, in a big
Got you
way.
good.
It was not just the weekend. That month of July, I'm actually look. He's on a plane. He's already gone. His wife and Kurtley, they've left, and I'm so look. A little bit of me is a little bit sad that they've gone, but there's a big part of me that's so happy because that month of July, I tell you, there was a couple of times where I was in pretty dark places.
You didn't do dry July.
I did the opposite.
Is there an opposite to dry July?
Drew July.
or just fly July.
So August, quite month coming up. We'll leave that alone. We'll go away from that.
Sean, what got you?
Do you know what got me? I can't get away from it. Shoot Shield again. You talk about tough. I'm so in love with it at the moment. I get my whole Saturdays all looked after now, rounding out with Super Rugby AU at the end of the night.
I'm talking about Shoot Shield. That's what got me. Awkward handshakes.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm interviewing Charlie Smith, end of the game, scored a try in the first half. Amazing story. Sort of spent the last 3 seasons out injured. Thought he'd be a good person to chat to, do a lovely interview. Nice guy, that's fine. I'm going to blame Charlie here. He puts his thumb up. I go in, think he's going to handshake, realise we're in COVID, can't do it. It's not great.
Yeah, it was almost like you just sort of went like that and when Ken touched
Yeah,
it. You were the one that put your hand up.
I
It's like you were promoting it and then you... Oh,
I know.
If
and the
that was
camera was still
NRL,
rolling.
you might have got him.
Well, that's what I was
banned for a
thinking.
week.
That's what I was thinking.
It's not always easy.
It's not. It brought back memories of the 2011 World Cup when Richie
the menage a trois.
the Prime Minister at the
best
time was
one.
Jim Mackay and Jim Mackay,
Do you want to try and
John
reenact
Mackay,
it?
whatever
Well, I
his
don't
name
know
is.
if it's called a menage a trois.
It
I
was,
know
but it
I know a
was.
little bit of French.
It was a menage
and
a
that's in my
trois.
vocabulary.
That was a
menage a trois
three-way
handshake.
handshake.
Surely you remember it.
Who was the third? It was Richie, the Prime Minister, and someone else.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it
Another
just got
dignitary,
all
yeah,
like there was
yeah.
fingers and digits going everywhere. Someone squidded someone. That's what your thing on the weekend brought back memories
Yeah,
of.
it didn't quite get to that.
I had an
thank
awkward
goodness.
interview at the start of the year with Angus Beale down in Melbourne. You know,
Yes.
one microphone. He kept taking it off me.
I know. So you be you.
So I was asking him some questions, and he played a really good game. But it's his second game of Super Rugby, and as I'm asking him a question, he goes to answer.
He
I
just
go-
grabs
and
the
he gets back
microphone.
on me.
Yeah,
So then
Car's going
I
pretty
have to
good.
keep grabbing it back, and then I got my director Marie laughing at me, going, "No, you shouldn't give your microphone up." But I wasn't going to get into an arm wrestle over a microphone. So
Geez, Kneeboy
cheers,
would love
Sean,
that.
thank you.
You take that one.
I had a couple
That's
awkward
a
ones
Kneeboy.
in France when the double kiss when you say hello to people.
I thought you were talking menage a trois still.
They weren't so awkward. Oh, we can't say that. That's
You
not
just
even.
did.
It's not even true.
You just
anyway. Yeah, you like led me there, and anyway, but the double kissing, and so at one point I had a little cut on the side of my cheek, and there was a doctor there that I didn't really get along with at the time. We weren't really seeing eye to eye with my rehab and things like that, and he came up to me and he said, "Oh, Drew, ça va, ça va?" And he came up and he grabbed my shoulder, and I thought, oh, he's kissing me here. And I went in for... I gave him the double kiss. He said, no. And just wanted to look at my cut. And I thought, shit. Because from that day on, I had to double kiss the guy I didn't really even like for like every other morning. And then the last one, just real quickly, was at our Toulon Christmas party. And so there's people from the staff and also the players and partners and all their kids and stuff. And I walked up to her, this little girl, and she's like, bonjour, ça va? And she was like maybe 10 years old, and she kind of like reached out like that. And I kind of really froze and like patted her on the top of the head and like walked off. It was so awkward. I just like bailed like the next day. I was like, yes, what am I meant to do? Anyway, so awkward
The
handshakes.
key
and
here
awkward
is
kisses.
commit. That's all you got to
Yeah.
do. Whatever you go with, just commit.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, time now for Super Rugby Rocks and Diamonds. What you liked, you didn't like over the weekend from Super Rugby. Sean, what do you got?
Marika Korobidi.
Yeah.
Marika
You're a
Korobidi is
fan?
my diamond. What about his try in his 50th game for the Rebels? Just
Yeah.
grabbing
Yeah, that
Alex
fend was
Newsom's
good.
entire face, head, torso with his giant Fijian
He
hands
was
and
one of the
just slamming
better
him.
defenders in the Tars, Newsom, by the way.
Fair dinkum.
Yeah, he's one of the better defenders.
But the other thing I liked about that particular try and his game, that whole game, it really was he went looking for the ball. That came from a pick and drive.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ball was at the bottom of the ruck.
Yeah.
Like he's one of the few wingers that we have that really goes looking for the ball.
We did a
and
thing
he
on
gets
him.
the reward for it.
We looked at his numbers about a year and a half or 2 years ago, and he's moving around the field. Like he's everywhere, but he's never out of position. That's the key
right,
with the
yeah.
winger. You've got to try and be everywhere, but not miss your main targets.
My rock, quick one. I didn't like seeing the Crusaders get beat. I wanted their winning home streak to extend to 164. Basically, they never lose at home. And
Yeah.
the Canes upset the party on the weekend.
They're coming good, the Canes.
Yeah, looking good.
They really are. My
That's your
rocks.
team, Lou.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going.
Just get on to your rocks and diamonds. Get into it.
Just to clarify that, we did clarify the loser has to buy the winner lunch. So that
That's surely everyone's
I thought
invited.
it was
I prefer to be
everyone.
everyone
It's a
else,
team
but-
thing.
Yeah.
Keep
My
going,
rocks
keep
and
going.
diamonds, I'm going to go the Brumbies at the start of the game. Their long-range tries, their support play. It just goes to show when sides come out of the blocks and they start to look for things and they're creative and inventive. I thought it was excellent play. The Rocks, unfortunately, probably the standard of footy at this CG, not the teams in particular, but
Come on, it's the teams.
No, I haven't,
the Rebels, wasn't it?
Leave the Rebels alone.
That's your right.
I just haven't seen too many good games at the SCG.
Yeah, it's a tough stadium
It's
to
tough
play
to
at.
view it at when you get. I went to the one week before, went live and watched it out there. I know the Tars they're in no man's land at the moment, but can't wait for them to get their own stadium back in a couple
even
of
to play
years.
on oval pitches, it's really hard to get your reference points when you're trying to find touch and even find grass, and especially these 50-22s, it'd make it difficult. But my Diamonds, I thought just our good friends at RugbyPass, I thought their banter towards Warren Gatland was quite good. So they're calling him Bond, Agent 007, because he's had 0 wins, 0 draws and 7 losses, which I thought that's pretty sharp. But that also then leads me into my rock. The Chiefs, they're mud at the
Don't
moment.
look at me like I had something to do with it.
It's
You
like
were
the Chiefs,
so gung-ho
it's
about
like
the
the Chiefs
Chiefs.
are coming down the final furlong and Maloney's jumping on their back to whip them home.
We're home here. One of his legs falls off.
Top weight Maloney rides him into a little Shetland pony
in his puffer jacket, silts.
Would you kind of stole my rock? I was going to say the Chiefs not sort of taking advantage of some opportunities there at the end, but also characters in the game. We want this in rugby in Australia. Panafama Silly.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about him before, but more of him and more of him sort of as this cult figure. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, his carry the other night, like it was only a quick tap, 10-metre carry, bump. He got rid of 3 plays in about half a second. One of them was Michael Hooper. I'm really enjoying how he's playing, but I'm also really appreciating how because I believe he had a league background, so he's a tight head. It's the toughest position to learn, but his scrummaging is really improving too.
I think the one thing that allows players to be themselves and be characters and sort of really show their personalities is when you're winning and when you're successful. And you know, we see it a lot with rugby league, and I don't care about talking about the other sport. I think it's great when you see the auto cars or I just watched a few over the weekend as well. Somehow through the wedding and whatever, I snuck a few games in. But I think it's also off the back of when they're successful and they're playing well and they're up and they're confident and they're upbeat. And so, especially with this, the Super Rugby AU, I think with a few more wins and whatever, I think we'll start to see players be a bit more relaxed and a bit more themselves in front of the camera and start seeing their personalities a little bit more.
I hope he keeps the long hair because it adds to it. When he's at full tilt, the hair starts bouncing behind like it's pure. It's waving in the breeze.
Is it making you want to grow yours out?
I'll give it a go. maybe by.
I got an idea. Drop the vest and let the hair go long.
Okay, you grow your hair until Crusaders get 164 in the
That's
trot.
what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. That's a lot of road gain.
Oh, good. Okay, the big stories of the week. Let's talk about that. The main one, of course, is about a 16-year-old Joseph Suaalii. He's been dominating headlines in both rugby league and rugby union spaces. I guess initial thoughts on how you've seen this sort of play out in the media, Drew?
I think it's a really sticky one for. I can't. We didn't say this when there's a kid potentially earning a huge amount of money, but I almost feel sorry for him because it's putting him in a really sticky situation. If he goes to rugby union, he's going to a game that's arguably up there. Well, with what we're hearing anyway, reported. I know it's probably not what they're saying in the papers, but quite a large amount of money for a soon to be 17-year-old kid going into a game where they've all been asked to take 40% pay cut. He hasn't done anything yet.
Is it coming from a different fund though?
Yeah.
Well, either way, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean,
still
all
money
these
that could be
players,
spent on the game.
I mean, all these players
I don't
who've
think
gone.
he's been getting offered anywhere near the amount.
No, I agree, and I'm not saying I'm not begrudging him for taking it because you take whatever you can get. But what I'm saying is, other players would have gone to contract renegotiations and things that would have been told, no, the game's not in a great place. We don't have cash. So I just think straight away, him joining any camp, it already puts him in an awkward situation. I just think there's a huge importance put on the leadership groups and also the coaches, whichever team he turns up to really handle it well, because he's already going to have enough pressure on him with how he's going to play, but you want to make sure that the players who are around him accept him and don't have that, like a little bit of their nose out of joint because he's getting 100% of his pay where they're all only getting 60. I think they've got to tread carefully with this one.
And Halsey, you know him a little bit because he went and joined Sevens training with you guys.
Yeah, he and a handful of the sort of emerging Sevens players came in and trained with the Aussie Sevens, and one of the key things in sevens, you know, Sean, you've called it around the world, is the restarts. If you can win restarts, win your own one and win opposition restart, you generally go a long way to winning those games. And he was remarkable in the air. Nick Maloof is probably one of our better restarters, the Aussie Sevens captain.
Excellent, yep.
He climbed on Nick Maloof's back like he had a ladder on it. Like, he was remarkable in the air. You think of Izzy Folau at the restarts, that's his greatest asset at the moment. But I look at it and think, I hope he gets to finish his schooling and play all of his footy with his mates at school, because that's important. Like, he's still a kid, so I've got to let him still be a kid. If he goes to rugby league, that's great. It's great for them, but I still think we'll get him back at some stage. And do we want him as an 18 to a 22-year-old and then league come chasing him? Or do we want him to go to league for a couple of years, develop physically, and then come back to rugby between the ages of, say, 22 to 28? He wants to be an Olympian at some stage. That's what they're talking about. They're every 4 years. I hope to see that we'll get him back at some stage. It does seem as though we've lost him. That's what it's hearing at the moment.
What really annoyed me about the whole thing, and we sat here last week, same time, debating whether or not we'd engage in even bringing it up.
Yeah, because
it had all been thrown up in the air and the figures were tossed around, proven, like you said, to be incorrect. He's 16.
Yeah.
He's 16 years of age. And what happens by taking this whole thing public is that you now have a situation where union people, the misinformed ones, will attack him. Oh, he wants the league money. Or if he had have come to union, league fans go after him. He's 16 years of age. From all reports, great kid, humble, wants to get better, works super hard, like wants to go under the radar. But all of a sudden, a teenager gets elevated into this spot where people are nipping at him and having a crack because it's being played out publicly. It blows me away that that's where we're at in 2020, that we all of a sudden think it's okay.
Crazy year. It's a crazy year.
It's COVID times.
I think, unfortunately, there's going to be a tremendous amount of pressure on, again, a 16/17-year-old's shoulders that, you know, if he doesn't live up to everyone's probably unrealistic expectations of a 17-year-old, who I wouldn't think has ever been played against men yet. No. I would think he's only ever played age group stuff, so there's just so much ahead of him, and you just hope that sometimes trying to progress someone too quickly doesn't actually hamper their development. So good luck to him. I hope whatever he does, whether it's league or union,
have fun. If you want to play basketball, go have fun.
I think he's pretty good at that too.
He's a freak at that too.
But the issue is, like, rugby people get really upset when we lose quality players, and it's always happened. It's going to happen. The NRL have 16 teams and they've got a $9 million salary cap. We have 5 teams plus a 7 side.
Fair amount of pokey rooms as well.
Yeah, exactly right. So we're going to lose these players. I just like to think that at some stage we'll get the likes of Crichton back, we'll get Cam Murray, because there are things, and league people don't like it when you say this, but the reality is what rugby can provide, it's far greater in many other areas besides financial commitments. It can take you to Olympics, Commonwealth Games, World Cups, British Lions, Bledisloe Cups, all these things that are just massive. So hopefully he'll play first grade really soon in rugby league, play Origin, and then he'll go, you know what, that's been really good, but I want to go to the rest of the world and I want to be a world-class athlete. And you can only be a world-class or world-known athlete in rugby or soccer.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the Aussie Rugby Show mailbag and get things started with viewer questions. Thanks so much to everyone that tweeted or provided questions on Instagram as well. We'll put that shout out. Not all of them. No, some weren't great.
We're not reading all of them.
No. We picked the good ones.
We did answer the weird and the better.
Yeah. All looking at all of them.
But we'll keep putting that shout out every week, actually, so make sure.
Jamie Soward sent through a few, actually. Just Soward.
Just to shout out to everyone out there, no picture messages, eh? That's not ideal.
Drew does not like receiving picture messages, and neither does Stevesy.
And we're going to leave that there, okay? Yeah. No pics. All right?
Or videos.
Or any
videos.
Aubergines or... Anyway, moving on. Who's up first?
Not even any questionable emojis. Just leave it at home. Stop hitting me up.
The eggplant.
What they
Stop
said.
hitting me up. Not required.
Okay, who's going first?
I lost my question.
I got a question. I'll ask Sean Maloney. This is from Scott Podmore. Very good club rugby player, Scott Podmore.
Scotty Podmore's one of the greats. Para and Norse as well. Legend. Similar haircuts.
Is it a cut? Where do the Australian Barbarians fit in now in the changing landscape, or do they fit? With Super Rugby change and the increase of support for Shoot Shield, should the old Sydney versus Country come back?
I'll just go to the second one. Sydney v Country, yes.
Yep.
So we should be targeting that for the end of Shoot Shield. I was just thinking about it the other day, why can't we still now, you know, back end of the Shoot Shield, rip into it?
Get onto it, yeah.
Like, people are still going to be starved of rugby in their backyard. If Tests go to New Zealand or not here, let's have a City Country clash.
Wasn't there talk maybe of the like a recently retired All Blacks versus an emerging one as well over in New Zealand. They're just finding other ways.
Are they?
To find,
you suggested that.
Martin Otto's of the world and the Julian Savi's guys that are coming back.
People can't get enough of that, eh?
Yeah, I mean, just find exhibition games.
You guys will know that through Classic Wallabies and that sort of stuff.
They're
People can't get enough of it.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
4,000 or 5,000. Scotty Podmore, yes to City Country, 100%.
Okay.
I've got a question here from Brycey09. It's actually for me, but perhaps I need a female's perspective. So, Lou, I'm going to go to you on this one. Drew, you're a contestant on The Bachelorette 2020. What do you take?
Highly likely.
This is what it says. What do you take, in brackets, aside from your set of dimples, to the red carpet to help you stand out amongst the other lads?
A golden retriever puppy.
Whoa.
And a bottle of champagne in the other hand.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of says like, I like, you know, like
I like
I
dogs.
like animals, but I'm ready to get loose.
Yeah.
No, I just think I'm not going to be a contestant. I'm going to be the guy up the front.
Right.
No, I'm not going to be that either.
Would you do it?
Scoop.
No,
You should do
I
it.
definitely wouldn't do it. I've already said no a lot of times. There's no way I'd be on that thing.
Why not?
Because I'd rather just be lonely at home, trying to do it the real way than on some...
Going on-
Anyway, stop centering me.
Going on 5-day benders
Okay.
after AB's wedding.
Talking about love and
He's only got one
marriage.
suit
And,
too, so...
Anyway, next question.
Halsey, this one's for you from Hugh.
Yep.
How is Maurice Longbottom, enjoying the 15s game? I guess he hasn't played too much of it. Saw him playing second grade on the weekend for Randwick.
So he's played 2 weeks of 15s now. Never played it before in his life. Grown up in
Really?
the area the whole time, but Longbottom's a very famous name in the South Sydney League area. So he's always been a league junior. His first game, he came off the bench and played a bit of halfback. He was a little bit concerned early on because there's so many different calls and patterns, and halfback's not the easiest position to play because you've got to know everything, and he's a free-spirited player, but he's fitted in well. He played second grade on the weekend just because he wanted to get some more minutes, and he ended up playing 30 minutes for first grade as well. So I think he's going to do really well, to be honest, Lou. That's club rugby at the moment. They've got a lot of the sevens boys down there in all different clubs. So he's a guy that if he gets his... Of course he's going to be one of the great sevens players, he already is, but to open up his options after the Olympics, it's good for him to be able to play sevens. And I'd personally probably like to see him roam a little bit more at fullback, a bit like Brendan Williams used to do.
Very so similar to Brendan Williams.
Halfback's pretty structured, but it's good for him to learn that because it's a great position to be in control. But long term, I'd probably see him more as a fullback winger, to be honest. Yeah.
Right.
Jeez, he's good.
Yeah. And in answer, I think he's enjoying it. He's at a club that's doing well at the moment, and a few of his mates are down there. Lockie Miller's there playing fullback. So, hopefully get some more games and enjoys himself.
My question was directed to you.
Okay.
I wasn't on board. It's the like kiss, marry, get rid of.
Shoot.
That one. So your options are kiss, marry, goodbye
Kiss.
to. You know where I'm going with
okay.
that.
Oh.
You were the one talking about the menage a little earlier. So that and that. Adam Ashley Cooper, Matt Giddo, Kurtley Beale.
And
So
the
it's-
menage isn't an option, just to clear that. Yeah.
Well, it would be a George Foreman.
Who goes on the grill?
No, I would. You know what? It's like picking your favourite kid. I mean, I don't have any, but I'd imagine that'd be tough. But
Change it
I would
every day.
I'd kiss each of them, I'd marry each of them, and then I'd kill them all. Perhaps at the same time. This is a bad episode.
The
you.
good thing is you won't remember it.
You don't even know
You're
when
in
he is.
Manly.
Yeah.
You're in Manly.
Okay, weekend forecast time here on the Aussie Rugby Show. This week, I've left local boy Sean Maloney in charge of this one. What do we got?
I'll be back here with you Saturday, Petchy, if you wouldn't mind. So we've got Manly v North Shoot Shield, and then we're going to go for a little Japanese a little later in the night as well. So I brought a little sample in for my favourite spot here in Manly, a little sushi for each of you. Grab a piece, please, Steve.
anything
grab
No,
this
there's
one.
nothing wrong with it at all. Pass one down a little as well, please.
I'm COVID
Excuse
compliant.
hands.
I'll pass you the plate.
Thanks.
But so Halsey, where will you be before we
Depend
sink
on,
into it?
depend on what's in this, Sean.
No, it's
If
good. It's good sushi, mate.
some of the old
Where
stuff
will you be?
could be in the can for
Where will
most
you
of the
be?
weekend. It is mine. I can see it every far.
I feel like, what do we...
I think I've got
I feel like they all
I'm
are.
going to go and watch my old school Waverley play in the CAS. That's
Yeah,
back.
they all
And
are.
shout out to all the Year 12 kids who got to play their school footy. The Melbourne kids, unfortunately, they've had their comp cancelled, so that sucks.
There's spicy tunes, a
Are
lot
they?
spicy. I remember it.
I've had harder.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Drew, where are
Harder.
you?
Mate.
A lot spicier than I remember it. Drew, where are you? I can't remember it being that spicy.
This is never part of
It's
it.
on the Corso.
I don't even get the wasabi when I get to.
Drew, go.
Oh, you won't find me this weekend. I am locking my doors. I've ordered a 3-day juice cleanse.
Yeah.
So I'm just...
You might not need it after that sushi.
Everything about me this weekend will be fluid.
Luke. Well, I'll see you Saturday, I guess.
You need to put more wasabi on that.
All right.
Oh, I don't
No,
know.
it wasn't me who did it. It was... Anyway, so we've got a big
We'll be
weekend
here.
ahead.
Yeah.
We will.
It'll be great. Another week of Shoot Shield. Cannot wait to do that. Thanks for the sushi, Sean.
Welcome.
Less,
We'll get some more
wasabi
Saturday
next time.
afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Manly.
Sean
On in my
Maloney.
nose.
Miles. Drew Mitchell, thanks so much for your company as always. Thanks for your company wherever you're watching as well. I'm Louise Ransom. We'll see you next time.
It was never that spicy last time.